It's been 35 years since Beverly Hills, 90210 first captured the hearts of viewers around the world, bringing drama, romance, and unforgettable characters into our lives. The show became a defining piece of 90s pop culture, and its young cast quickly rose to international fame. But after the series ended in 2000, what happened to the beloved stars we grew up with? In 2025, we revisit their stories. Some continued to thrive in Hollywood, others chose quieter lives away from the spotlight, and sadly, a few faced heartbreaking struggles and tragic endings. Let's take a look at where they are now. Joey Tata, born on September 13, 1936, portrayed the beloved Nat Bosicchio, the fatherly diner owner at the Peach Pit, from 1990 to 2000 at 54. Nat was the heart of Beverly Hills 90210, offering guidance to the teens, often playing the role of a mentor in their tumultuous lives. Tata's career, though characterized by consistent work in supporting roles, never reached the star status he deserved. His most memorable performance, however, was marked by his gentle spirit on screen, which earned him admiration from fans and co-stars alike. Behind the scenes, Tata was known for his privacy, but there were whispers of struggles with personal demons. A tragic aspect of his life came when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease in his later years. Tata's health took a toll, but he remained out of the public eye, facing his battles quietly. As for scandal, there were no public controversies surrounding him, but his final years were marred by the decline brought on by his condition. He passed away on August 24, 2022, at the age of 85. Shannen Doherty, born on April 12, 1971, made her mark as the headstrong Brenda Walsh, a role that catapulted her to fame on Beverly Hills, 90210 at 19. Brenda was a force of nature, known for her fiery independence, dramatic relationships, and fierce loyalty. Off-screen, however, Doherty's career was fraught with controversy. She was often labeled as difficult to work with, a reputation that stemmed from numerous on-set clashes, particularly with co-stars, which ultimately led to her departure from the show in 1994. Her career after 90210 had its peaks and valleys, but her tumultuous personal life overshadowed much of it. A string of failed relationships, including a highly publicized divorce, made headlines, and her struggles with alcohol and mental health became a private battle. Despite these challenges, Doherty found strength in her battle with breast cancer, which she was diagnosed with in 2015. Her fight was heroic, but the toll it took on her body and soul was undeniable. Doherty passed away on July 13, 2024, at the age of 53, after a courageous battle that defined her later years. Luke Perry, born on October 11, 1966, made his mark as the brooding Dylan McKay in Beverly Hills, 90210 at 24. Dylan was the quintessential bad boy with a tragic past, a character that resonated with viewers. Perry, a teen heartthrob, became a symbol of rebellious youth, yet his personal life was marred by struggle. Fame brought him immense pressure, and it was widely known that he battled inner demons, including substance abuse. Perry's career was filled with ups and downs, with roles that could not quite shake the shadow of Dylan. His personal life wasn't without drama, including a short-lived marriage that ended in 2003, and subsequent turbulent relationships. Perry later became a recluse of sorts, choosing more diverse roles and a quieter life after 90210. His most devastating moment came when he suffered a massive stroke in 2019, a blow that shocked his fans and the Hollywood community. He died on March 4, 2019, at 52, leaving behind a legacy of both triumph and tragedy, a reminder of the fragile nature of fame. Nicholas Pryor, born on January 28, 1935, portrayed Chancellor Milton Arnold, a wise mentor at California University, from 1994 to 1997 on Beverly Hills, 90210 at 55. Although his role as the supportive chancellor was a far cry from the teenage drama at the heart of the show, Pryor's steady presence added depth to the series. Pryor's career spanned several decades, with notable work in film and television, but despite his versatility, he was never a household name. His private life was just that, private, and he carefully shielded his personal struggles from the public eye. However, in his later years, Pryor faced the overwhelming challenge of a cancer diagnosis, which ultimately led to his passing on October 7, 2024, at 89. While he was admired for his professionalism and dedication to his craft, his death left behind a legacy that often flew under the radar, with few acknowledging his contributions to television beyond the iconic 90,210 role. Jed Allen, born on March 1, 1935, brought a commanding presence to the role of Rush Sanders starting in 1994 at 59, portraying Steve Sanders' tough, wealthy, and sometimes overbearing father. Behind the scenes, Allen's polished image masked a life touched by deep personal tragedy. He was already a seasoned soap opera star, beloved for his roles in Days of Our Lives and Santa Barbara, but privately he endured the heartbreaking loss of his wife Toby in 2001 after 43 years of marriage. Friends noted that Allen was never quite the same afterward, retreating from the Hollywood scene and struggling with loneliness. Despite a lifetime spent in front of the camera, he reportedly harbored frustrations about being typecast and felt his true talents were overlooked. His later years were marked by declining health and a quiet sadness that many said stemmed from feeling forgotten by an industry he once helped define. Jed Allen passed away on March 9, 2019, just days after his 84th birthday, from natural causes. Denise Dow, born on February 21, 1958, embodied Mrs. Yvonne Teasley, the no-nonsense vice principal of West Beverly High, from 1991 to 2000 at 33. Teasley was a character who balanced strict discipline with compassion, a role Dow made unforgettable. Dow's career was marked by a range of roles, showcasing her incredible versatility as an actress. While she was loved by her co-stars and fans alike, her personal life was not as smooth. Dow's struggles with health issues, particularly in her later years, were overshadowed by her incredible work ethic and dedication to her craft. The actress was relatively free from public scandal, but her final years were marred by meningitis, a tragic health complication that led to her untimely death on August 13, 2022, at 64. Despite this, Dow left an indelible mark on television, with her portrayal of Mrs. Teasley being a highlight of Beverly Hills, 90210. Jenny Garth, born on April 3, 1972, played Kelly Taylor at 18, the quintessential Beverly Hills teen who grew from a shallow, troubled girl into a strong, independent woman. However, Garth's tumultuous divorces, particularly from actor Peter Facinelli, were public fodder, and her struggle with weight and mental health was often tabloid fodder. In the mid-2000s, Garth's career floundered as she tried to transition to roles outside of teen drama, but public interest in her waned. Behind the scenes, Garth became notorious for her strained relationships with co-stars, especially with Tori Spelling, leading to rumors of rifts and behind-the-scenes drama on the set of 90210. Her personal life was a constant media spectacle, marked by several stints in rehab for alcohol abuse and public spats with ex-husbands. Garth, who struggled with depression, attempted a comeback with the reality show Jenny Garth, a little bit country, but the show's ratings didn't match expectations. In 2025, Garth is 53 and remains a loved yet controversial figure in Hollywood. Ian Zering, born on March 30, 1964, played Steve Sanders, the flashy and mischievous rich kid, starting in 1990 at the age of 26. Behind the scenes, Zering wrestled with a reputation for being a diva. Cast and crew often whispered about his outrageous demands, diva-like behavior, and his desperate attempts to control storylines that featured his character. After 90210, Zering's career stagnated until the ironic cult success of the Sharknado films, a bizarre turn he once privately loathed but publicly milked for relevance. His personal life was marred by a messy, tabloid-fueled divorce from Playboy model Nikki Sheeler, full of accusations about infidelity and financial ruin. Zering's behind-closed-doors struggles with maintaining fame led to allegations from former colleagues who described him as manipulative and impossible to work with. Multiple accounts surfaced claiming Zering's obsession with his fading looks drove him into depression and risky cosmetic procedures. Today, in 2025, Zering is 61, still clinging to the edges of Hollywood with occasional reality TV appearances. Tori Spelling, born on May 16, 1973, portrayed the naive Donna Martin from 1990, stepping into the spotlight at just 17 years old, bolstered by her powerful producer father, Aaron Spelling. Despite her father's influence, Spelling never escaped the industry's disdain, often branded a nepotism baby whose lack of talent became an open secret. Her financial ruin became a public spectacle, filing for bankruptcy, living in rented homes she could not afford, and launching endless low-rent reality shows in a humiliating bid to pay off mountains of debt. Her marriage to Dean McDermott was a car crash in slow motion, cheating scandals, rehab stints, televised therapy sessions, and messy public brawls. Tori's reputation for erratic behavior, blowing up sets, refusing to rehearse, and alienating colleagues, cemented her place as a Hollywood cautionary tale. In 2025, Spelling, now 51, remains tabloid fodder, struggling to rebuild her shattered image while battling health scares and estrangement from parts of her own family. Brian Austin Green, born on July 15, 1973, took on the role of David Silver in 1990 when he was just 17. David started as the awkward outsider, eventually evolving into a creative yet troubled musician weighed down by addiction and heartbreak, an eerie reflection of Green's own real-life descent. While his character grew in depth, his high-profile marriage to Megan Fox was a volatile, jealousy-ridden roller coaster that ended in a bitter, public divorce laden with accusations of emotional manipulation. Professionally, Green was blacklisted quietly by major studios for his rumored erratic behavior and unprofessionalism, which included showing up late to sets and clashing with directors. Friends revealed that Green battled substance abuse issues in the early 2000s, a shadow he still struggles to shake. His later stint on Dancing with the Stars was seen by many insiders as a sad attempt to reclaim relevance. In 2025, Green, now 51, remains in the public eye mostly through minor TV gigs and tabloid drama, his once bright promise largely eclipsed by personal chaos. Jason Priestley, born on August 28, 1969, entered the role of Brandon Walsh in 1990 at age 21, bringing to life the show's moral compass, the good guy who always tried to do right in a world full of temptation. The 1990s saw him quietly spiral into alcoholism, culminating in a near-fatal 2002 car crash that left him with serious injuries and served as a harsh wake-up call. His arrest for drunk driving years before had already stained his image as TV's clean-cut hero. Priestley's attempts to shift into directing and producing were often marred by professional fallouts and accusations that he could be arrogant and dismissive toward collaborators. His personal life wasn't much steadier. Early romances with high-profile actresses collapsed under the strain of his hidden partying habits. Despite rebuilding his life post-accident, those close to him reveal he struggles with lingering trauma and regret over opportunities lost to self-sabotage. In 2025, Priestley, now 55, lives a quieter life focused on small directing projects. Gabrielle Carter, born on January 2, 1961, portrayed Andrea Zuckerman in 1990 when she was 29 years old. Andrea was the studious, socially conscious editor with a sharp mind and a heart for justice, often providing a moral backbone to the group. However, Gabrielle's off-screen journey was marred by the explosive revelation that she had lied about her age, shattering the wholesome image she tried to project. After leaving 90210, her career rapidly lost momentum, punctuated by canceled TV projects and bitter disputes with network executives. Her personal life was fraught with tension, rumors circulated of a rocky marriage burdened by financial woes and infidelity accusations. Carter's struggle with facial paralysis due to Bell's palsy in 2006 plunged her into deep depression, almost forcing her permanent retreat from public life. Co-stars later hinted at her domineering, sometimes manipulative behavior during her time as SAG-AFTRA president. In 2025, Gabrielle Carter is 64, semi-retired, with a tarnished reputation that quietly lingers despite her activist work. James Eckhouse, born February 14, 1955, was cast as Jim Walsh in 1990 at the age of 35. Jim was the stern but loving patriarch, often embodying outdated values challenged by his children. In reality, Eckhouse battled typecasting so extreme that major casting directors blacklisted him from serious projects post-90210. His volatile temper on set, often erupting over minor script changes, made him a pariah among writers and producers alike. Behind closed doors, his marriage suffered years of emotional distance, culminating in a near-divorce hushed up to protect his family man image. In the early 2000s, a devastating car accident left him with chronic pain and a dependency on prescription medication, a secret he managed to conceal from the press. Today, in 2025, James Eckhouse is 70, still taking minor roles but living quietly, far from the spotlight he once thought would never fade. Carol Potter, born May 21, 1948, stepped into the role of Cindy Walsh in 1990 at 42 years old. On screen, Cindy was the warm, grounded matriarch offering stability amid teen chaos. Behind the scenes, Potter's life crumbled as she coped with the devastating death of her husband to cancer, a tragedy she hid from the public during filming. After her exit, Hollywood doors slammed shut, and she was often quietly blacklisted as too old and too safe for edgier roles. Potter developed a serious gambling addiction during this period, racking up debts that friends say she never fully recovered from. A fierce, behind-the-scenes clash with Shannen Doherty allegedly contributed to on-set tensions, although both parties have remained tight-lipped publicly. Potter transitioned to becoming a therapist not by passion but sheer necessity. In 2025, Carol Potter is 77, leading a modest life far from Hollywood's spotlight, counseling clients while struggling to leave behind her financial and emotional scars. Tiffany Thson, born January 23, 1974, entered the show in 1994 as Valerie Malone at just 20 years old. Valerie was the quintessential bad girl, a sharp contrast to Theson's earlier sweetheart image from Saved by the Bell. Yet, life imitated art as Theson's off-screen behavior grew increasingly turbulent. She was entangled in messy romances, including a bitter love triangle involving Brian Austin Green, which splintered the cast. Numerous projects she headlined post-90210 crashed quickly, and whispers of diva behavior and backstage demands became a running joke in industry circles. Though she projected an image of domestic bliss, insiders revealed her marriage was rocked by repeated allegations of emotional affairs. Privately, Thson battled eating disorders and crippling anxiety, issues carefully masked behind PR-crafted smiles. In 2025, Tiffany Thson is 51, still maintaining a glamorous facade with a lifestyle brand, but cracks in the armor occasionally betray a more chaotic reality. Lindsy Price, born December 6, 1976, joined Beverly Hills, 90210 as Janet Sosna in 1998 at just 22 years old. Janet was the quiet but fiercely ambitious graphic designer who defied her parents' traditional expectations by building a life with Steve Sanders. Lindsay's post-show career seemed stable, but under the surface, she battled typecasting in a series of humiliating rejections that left her humiliated by casting directors who dismissed her as forgettable. Her personal life became tabloid fodder after her engagement to Sean Pillar ended abruptly amid rumors of emotional cheating. Her later marriage to celebrity chef Curtis Stone crumbled behind closed doors, scarred by allegations of infidelity and emotional neglect. Lindsy secretly struggled with crippling anxiety and body image issues worsened by Hollywood's brutal standards. Whispers on the 90210 set described her as increasingly withdrawn, often clashing with producers over creative control. In 2025, at 48 years old, Lindsy lives semi-retired in California, raising 2 children away from the spotlight that once devoured her. Katherine Robertson, born on July 8, 1973, portrayed Claire Arnold, the bold and privileged daughter of the Chancellor, from 1994 to 1997 at 21. Claire was a fan favorite for her confident and unapologetic personality, but off-screen, Robertson's career was marred by her own personal scandals. Despite her success on 90210, she became embroiled in a tumultuous relationship with a much older Hollywood executive, a relationship that made headlines due to allegations of manipulation and power abuse. In the years following 90210, Robertson struggled to transition to adult roles, and her public image took a hit when she was accused of using her past connections to land roles, resulting in accusations of nepotism. Her personal life wasn't much better, as her marriage to a fellow actor ended in a bitter divorce, with reports of infidelity on both sides. Her career stagnated, though she still managed to carve out a niche in independent films. Today, at 51, she is active in producing and behind-the-scenes roles, although her public image is forever tied to those early Hollywood scandals. Vincent Young, born on June 4, 1965, played Noah Hunter, the wealthy and tortured oil heir, from 1997 to 2000 at 32. His character's complex relationships and moral struggles mirrored Young's own tumultuous life. Though his role on 90210 was short-lived, it sparked a deep dive into his troubled personal history. Behind the camera, Young was struggling with an addiction to painkillers, a problem that led to multiple stints in rehab. His chaotic lifestyle made him infamous for being difficult to work with, and he was frequently at odds with the show's producers. A series of failed relationships and a public DUI in the late 2000s added to his growing reputation as a Hollywood bad boy. Amidst these scandals, Young found himself gradually pushed out of the entertainment industry. Despite multiple attempts at a comeback, his career never fully recovered. Today, at 59, he leads a quieter life, occasionally appearing in small independent films, but his legacy is still overshadowed by the scandalous events of his past. Jamie Walters, born June 13, 1969, appeared as Ray Pruitt in 1994 when he was 25 years old. Ray was the brooding singer with a dark side, known for his violent relationship with Donna Martin. Walters' real life was even more chaotic. His engagement to Drew Barrymore exploded in a flurry of allegations involving violence and emotional abuse, effectively destroying his rising music and acting career. After 90210, Jamie released an album that flopped disastrously, while rumors swirled about heavy drinking, public altercations, and unprovoked outbursts on set. By the early 2000s, Jamie was considered radioactive in Hollywood circles, reportedly turning down therapy offers and refusing reconciliation efforts. In 2025, now 55, Jamie has retreated entirely from fame, working anonymously as a firefighter in Massachusetts, still carrying the ghosts of a once promising career gone catastrophically wrong. Mark D. Espinoza, born June 24, 1960, was cast as Jesse Vasquez in 1993 at 33 years old. Jesse was portrayed as the hardworking, proud law student who clashed with Andrea Zuckerman over gender roles and cultural traditions. Although Mark initially benefited from the show's platform, his career stalled once he left 90210, and he found himself pigeonholed into minor Latino character roles. Financial troubles soon followed, with gambling debts reportedly forcing him into bankruptcy by the late 2000s. His personal life crumbled with a messy divorce, and there were persistent rumors about alcohol dependency worsening his isolation. Industry insiders described him as increasingly difficult to work with, prone to anger and self-sabotage on sets. By the early 2010s, Mark largely vanished from mainstream Hollywood, occasionally resurfacing for minor appearances in crime dramas. In 2025, at 64, he lives in suburban Texas, struggling with chronic health issues and far removed from the career he once fought desperately to sustain. Vanessa Marcel, born October 15, 1968, became Gina Kincaid in 1998 at 30 years old. Gina was the ambitious, backstabbing cousin who embodied both vulnerability and ruthless ambition. Marcel's real life mirrored her character's turbulence. A highly publicized engagement to Corey Feldman ended in scandal, followed by endless tabloid wars with Brian Austin Green over custody of their son. Vanessa's time on 90210 was riddled with behind-the-scenes feuds, including a notorious altercation with a co-star that almost led to her dismissal. Her relentless ambition alienated colleagues and led to contract disputes and lawsuits with former managers. Despite occasional soap opera appearances, her star dimmed amid persistent rumors of diva behavior and broken contracts. In 2025, Vanessa, now 56, lives in Los Angeles, clinging to minor roles and public appearances to maintain relevance, while privately fighting an endless battle to repair her shattered public image. Jason Wiles, born on April 25, 1970, played Colin Robbins, a talented but deeply troubled artist, on Beverly Hills, 90210 from 1995 to 1996 at 25. Colin's struggles with drug addiction and toxic relationships mirrored Wiles' own off-screen battles. Despite his early success, Wiles found himself caught in a storm of bad press as his career plummeted. After a few promising roles, he became typecast, and the burden of public expectations weighed heavily on him. Wiles spiraled into self-destructive behavior, marked by substance abuse and increasingly erratic actions. His personal life was rife with scandal, broken relationships, and a notorious arrest that nearly cost him his career. His inability to distance himself from the troubled roles he played led to a string of failed auditions and a growing reputation as a difficult actor. He once spoke candidly about his struggles, revealing how the pressure of being on a hit show like Beverly Hills, 90210 left him with deep emotional scars. As of 2025, Wiles' ISS 55 continues to act sporadically but has transitioned into directing, though his past controversies still haunt his public image. Matthew Lawrence, born on March 2, 1950, played Mel Silver, the troubled dentist and father of David Silver, on Beverly Hills, 90210 from 1991 to 2000 at 41. Mel was a character filled with contradictions, supportive yet often entangled in a messy relationship with Jackie Taylor. Lawrence's career after the show, however, took an unexpected dive. Though he tried to maintain a public persona as a radio show host, he couldn't escape the shadows of his on-screen character. Behind the scenes, Lawrence was reportedly battling personal demons, including a history of drinking problems that occasionally erupted in volatile confrontations with colleagues. His professional reputation suffered due to his penchant for erratic behavior on set, causing tension with his co-stars. His personal life mirrored the chaos he portrayed on screen. Multiple failed marriages, publicized affairs, and rumors of substance abuse further marred his reputation. At one point, Lawrence's erratic behavior even led to a brief hiatus from the industry. Today, Lawrence is 75 and remains a mysterious figure, with little known about his current life. Emma Caulfield Ford, born on April 8, 1973, played Susan Keats, the feminist, career-driven editor, on Beverly Hills, 90210 from 1995 to 1996 at 22. Susan's relationships were often fraught with tension, mirroring Caulfield's own personal conflicts during her time on the show. Caulfield faced significant public scrutiny for her whirlwind romance with Brandon Walsh, a plotline that was just as turbulent off-screen. The actress was caught in a scandal involving a love affair with a fellow co-star, which caused a stir in the tight-knit 90210 set. But it was Caulfield's personal struggles with being typecast that truly hindered her career. Though she had a brief resurgence in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, her Hollywood journey was marked by inconsistent roles and growing frustration with the industry. Her romantic life also became a matter of public interest, with multiple failed relationships and a highly publicized breakup with a fellow actor. In 2025, Caulfield is 52 and continues to work in acting but remains a more private figure, far from the buzz of her 90,210 days. Douglas Emerson, born on October 4, 1974, portrayed Scott Scanlon, the shy and socially awkward freshman, on Beverly Hills, 90210 from 1990 to 1991 at 16. Scott's tragic death on the show left a mark on fans, but the story behind Emerson's departure from the series is even more heartbreaking. His career, which seemed promising after his time on 90210, crumbled quickly due to a series of personal missteps. Emerson's struggles with mental health and a growing sense of alienation from the Hollywood scene led him to a complete retreat from acting. His departure from the limelight was sudden and shocking, as rumors of depression and substance abuse swirled. Instead of turning to therapy or rehab, Emerson enlisted in the U.S. Air Force, a dramatic change in direction that few saw coming. His decision to step away from the entertainment industry became the subject of much speculation, especially as his mental health continued to decline in private. In 2025, Emerson is 50 and remains out of the public eye, and his once promising career is now a distant memory. Who is your favorite character from Beverly Hills, 90,210? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.